Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we are taking a look at the Avengers Endgame Captain America Hot Toys figure. Now I have recently started picking up a lot more Hot Toys than I used to have in my collection, and Captain America from Endgame was one of those figures that I kind of had to have. I kind of had my eye on him for quite some time. I've already got the Iron Man figure from Endgame as well as the Thor, like the bro Thor. I've got Black Widow, I've got Loki, I've got Hawkeye, I've got Thanos. So Captain America is part of the big three, so I definitely wanted to pick him up, and I'm really pleased with what you get in the box. Now the first thing I want to say is that there are no batteries in this particular set, so there's no parts that light up, which is not overly disappointing, to be perfectly honest with you, because there's a whole bunch actually in there. But the most noticeable difference was the Mjolnir that we get with Thor does light up, and the one that we get with Captain America doesn't. So I think I'll probably be swapping those over so that Captain America's holding the Mjolnir that lights up. But anyway, let's have a look at what's actually in the box. Now, the same as all Hot Toys figures, this comes with like an open window part of the box. Once you slide the slipcover off, you can kind of see what's in there, and I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't realise that it came with two versions of the shield. Now that was obviously just a detail that I missed in the pictures and the descriptions on the sites that I was looking at on. But yeah, pleasantly surprised by that. Now there are a lot of little pieces in here. I'm going to get them all out one by one. So straight away, here is Mjolnir. It's quite fiddly, but I will get it out. And it's the same size, the same dimensions as the Mjolnir that we've had with Thor, but just as I said, doesn't light up. So there's a static version. We get an unmasked Captain America head. We get the actual helmet as well without a head or a face or anything in it. We also get two extra face plates so that we can change his expressions, and I'll have a look at those in a little bit more detail in a second. Just being very careful when I get all of these things out. We've also got the actual figure here itself. Let's take that out. I have already had a quick look and a quick inspect, so I've taken all the additional parts of the packaging off of the figure. We've got the base there, and it's one of the crotch based bases. So you get different types of base with Hot Toys, and this is one of the ones that's got the kind of little hook that goes up in the crotch. Now we get 5 alternate hands there as well, so I'm just tipping the box up because it's easier to just pull those out. And we also get the little compass with the photo of Peggy in it as well, so I'll have a look at that in a little bit. Now let's just move some of this packaging out of the way and we can focus a little bit more on the figure. Now this is, as I said, it's a relatively good version of Captain America. I think because of the whole Infinity Saga, this was the version of Captain America that I wanted to have in my collection, just because it's a classic looking suit. It's a little bit kind of worn, and there's a lot of options, as in display options. So you can have him with a regular shield. Obviously now I know you can have him with a broken shield as well. You can have him with Mjolnir, you can have him without Mjolnir, and there's a handful of different alternate hands as well, so you can do the whole Avengers assemble bit. There's a pointing finger, there's a holding hand, there's also like a shield gripping hand. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Now the articulation on the figure is pretty much what you'd expect from Hot Toys. Now it is clothed, obviously, but it's a little bit more rugged, it's a little bit more hard wearing cloth, so I'm a little bit more confident I can put him into poses without damaging the cloth too much. So with some of them, if you hold them in particular poses, especially like the leather look ones, the leather can peel and it can kind of wear away and stuff, whereas this is almost like a, I don't know how you'd explain it, but it's not cotton, but it's not pleather. It's kind of, it's not jean either. It's a weird kind of material. Having a look at the instruction manual, there's all the different ways that you can move things around. So just take note here that there is a clip that you can put the shield, actually mount the shield on the back if you remove the strap. It says here to hold the shield as well. You've got to take the hand off, put the hand on the strap, and then replace the hand on the arm. So that could be a little bit fiddly. And it shows you here how to replace the heads and also the face plates. Now I am pleased to realise that the face plates are just magnets, so we can swap those out quite easily. Let's have a look at the unmasked head. Now the likeness is pretty decent. That's not too bad at all. I love the kind of glossy look in the eyes. It really adds a level of realism to the figures. But yeah, it's not too bad. I think I would have liked it to have been a little bit dirtied up, just because of the end battle scene. There's the helmet, so he can have that, holding that in his hand if you wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to keep that in the packaging. I think the only other version of Captain America that I'm really tempted with at the moment is the Infinity War version, where he's got the kind of the nomad look. But here's a couple of extra faceplates. So you get a couple of different expressions with this one, which is a nice touch. So the standard expression, there you go, just pull it at the chin and it pulls off and it leaves a big magnet, and you can just slot that in. They have got to be careful, you've got to kind of slide it up so that the nose goes in the mask, and then just make sure that the sides of the mask go on the outside. Just be careful when you're doing it so you don't snap anything. Here he is with the gritted teeth, so this is much more the kind of battle against Thanos when he's kind of first wields Mjolnir. So that's that one for poses or displays. And then this one is kind of a midway version of that. So he's kind of got teeth exposed. He doesn't look quite as angry, but he looks a little bit more ready for something. I'm not too sure about that one. That one's a little bit weird looking. But actually looking at it from a distance, it doesn't look as bad as I think it does in hand. But I think for now, I'm just going to keep the standard kind of neutral face on, because I think that's probably the most versatile for displays. And as my plan is to display him alongside Thor and Iron Man, I think the neutral position is probably better for that. So, but it's nice to see that they're easy to swap out. So if I'm going to take any photographs of him or mix the display up, they are easy enough to swap out. Now let's have a look at the shield. As I said, there are a couple of broken pieces. So the broken shield, funnily enough, both straps are intact. The break in the shield looks pretty accurate. I'd have to cross-reference it with the actual movie, but it looks pretty accurate to me. But the broken pieces are there to just use in your display, so they don't attach to anything. They're just there. Now, the completed shield has the straps here. Now, what you have to do is you have to unbuckle those straps. I'm not going to do it now because I'm not going to put it on his back. And then you swap the buckle out for this kind of peg hook kind of piece. It just slides in there. And then what you do is that will attach to the shield and it will give it a hook. And then if you spin him round on the back of his back of his shoulders, on the back of the straps, this just slides over the top like that, and it will allow for you to just hook the shield on there relatively simply. Is that the right way? But yeah, so quite easy to do there. And I suppose if you want to kind of condense your display a little bit, it might be better to do that. However, this is a really nice touch. Now, on other Endgame Captain America figures, I've not seen one that comes with a broken shield like this, so this again might be a really nice option. It's something really iconic about that kind of broken shield. And what's a really nice touch, in my opinion, is the pieces actually match up. So like a jigsaw, they do go together quite easily and create the full shield. So the breaks here are almost perfect. So as you can see, it just goes in like that, and there's no way of putting that together or holding it together. Those pieces really are just for display purposes, so I guess they'll just kind of be scattered on the floor around him, or if you're posing him with Thanos and you're putting him in sort of some kind of fight scene, then those pieces will just go on the floor easy enough. But it's a nice little touch to see that they marry up. Now, the actual artwork on the shield, the painting on the shield is slightly different to the completed one. It's definitely kind of a little bit more worn, this one, and there's some kind of scuff marks as well around the break, but that is definitely a cool option. There's a pointing finger, so you can do the whole kind of Avengers Assemble thing, and there's various other hands here that at the moment I probably won't utilise. I'm going to put the gripping hands on both the left and the right because I want to put Mjolnir in his hand. So I'm going to put Mjolnir in his right hand, and that just slots on like that, and he holds on, and then the shield will go in his left hand. And as you saw in the instructions, I'm going to need the gripping hands, I think we'll call them, but the gripping hands in order to hold the strap of the shield, and of course Mjolnir as well. But all in all, this is a really nice figure. The detail is fantastic. There's lots of kind of little scuff marks and stuff on him, like around the helmet and across the chest and stuff, so he definitely looks like he's been in the battle. But yeah, overall it's just a really nice figure. Good combination of cloth and plastic parts, and a really nice likeness to Captain America from the MCU films. So let's have a look at him alongside the two that I mentioned. So here he is, Captain America with Iron Man and with Thor, and I have changed the Mjolnir over, like I said. So I've given him the light up Mjolnir that comes with the Thor figure, and I've given Thor Stormbreaker, and obviously Iron Man comes with some lights as well. But I think the three of them look really cool together, and that's pretty much how they're going to be in my display. Weirdly, it looks like Captain America's kind of photoshopped on top. But here they are, the three of them in my IKEA Detolf. They take up a good space on a shelf on their own, but don't kind of crowd each other over. So this is how I'm going to display them, and obviously they're all lit up. So I haven't got my cabinet lights on. I'm just showing you the lights from the actual figures. But yeah, overall, really, really happy with that, and I think these three look really great together. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.